So I found a book that I want to share with you. You ready? Let's go. Hey, this is Dave from Living the Next Chapter. Glad you're here. I have an audiobook that I want to share with you. A great gift idea, or maybe a gift for yourself. Here on Living the Next Chapter, it's a bonus episode, and I want to share this with you. Welcome. Nice to have you here. The end of the year is coming up. Gift giving for many of us. And it's exciting to be able to give gifts, no matter if you celebrate the holidays or not. You know, you got your boss. You got your boss's boss. You have your neighbor who rakes your leaves. Hey, how about a nice little gift? What about a audiobook? And one of the ones I'm listening to right now is called Hug Your Haters, How to Embrace Complaints and Keep Your Customers by Jay Baer. And Jay also wrote many other books, which I love. I'm a really big fan of all the stuff that he puts out in the world. And this was, for me, one of the books that I really fell in love with and I'm listening to at the moment. Because I'm building a business around podcast editing. I'm building a business around my podcast and helping people with their websites. And I'm building this whole world for me where I'm helping people with their shows. And it's fun. I'm really enjoying it. And if you go back in time to the How to Podcast series, I think it's episode number 67, 76. I'll put a link in the show notes because my memory's gone. In that episode, I talked about 6 ways to deal with a hater and gave some examples. That podcast, can I just take a break for a second here? That episode, and I don't understand what's going on, to be quite honest. That episode has like 55,000 listeners. 55,000 listens to one episode. I know. I don't know what's going on. There's something about dealing with haters. And I'd love for you to go listen to that episode. Link in the show notes. There's something about the fact that when we put ourselves into the world, we seem to attract haters. Kind of like those zapping bug lights that are out in the evening, and so that we can actually go outside without being attacked by an armada of bugs. It seems like the moment you put yourself out there, you write a book, you create a podcast, you record a song, you jump on social media and take a picture of your dinner, whatever. The moment you put yourself out there, it seems like there's just this world, this undermining world of haters that seem to just be attracted to you because you, how dare you, ever put yourself out there, right? And we're all so nervous and scared that if we do this, somebody's not going to like us or somebody's not going to like what we do. So what I love about this book from Jay Baer is he really helps you to unpack what to do with haters. Do we just ignore them and hope they go away? Do we attack them? I heard one podcast guru said that he loves to stir up crap with haters to get more likes and views. And he purposely goes out of his way to do so. I think that's not a very positive way to do that. I'm not going to go out on the street right now and start a fight just to get a crowd. That seems a little bit absurd. So I love how Jay Baer approaches this. It's not about going and creating a fight with your haters. It's what to do with them. And I love the idea that he wants us to embrace them. Now that sounds really hard to do. So here's a little clip from Jay's book. And I have links in the show notes to go and get your copy on Audible of this. You can buy a paperback copy as well. But when you listen to an audiobook, you can do something else. You're doing something else right now. I know you're not just sitting there listening to this. You're doing something. So while you're doing your something, here's a little clip from Jay Baer's book from Audible, Hug Your Haters, How to Embrace Complaints and Keep Your Customers. Jay, here you go.
In this book, you'll hear examples and case studies of small and large businesses, many unfamiliar to you, that understand how customer service has fundamentally changed. They understand how customer service is continuing to change even as you listen to this. And they understand how smart companies are keeping their customers and outflanking their competition by using the principles and playbooks in Hug Your Haters. The most important of which is this: haters are not your problem. Ignoring them is. The tendency of almost everyone, including me, is to turn away from haters to dismiss their complaints as outliers that are not representative of reality. When confronted with negativity, our instinct is to turn the other cheek, to quote an ancient source, or to ignore the trolls, to quote modern packaging of the exact same advice. But today, this is the wrong approach, because in an era when much of customer service has become a spectator sport, choosing to stay silent actually speaks volumes. As Dave Kerpen, CEO of Likeable Media and author of Likeable Social Media, says, not responding is a response that says, I don't care about you. Nothing ever gets better when you don't address it, and yet in this day and age we still see businesses that do not respond, says George Klein, CEO of customer service mobile app company Peopleosity. The same shift toward public customer service interactions that has made this book necessary also makes it psychologically difficult to engage with haters, especially when they shine a giant spotlight on their perceptions of your shortcomings. Here's an example of when the outlandish nature of the complaint from a hater would probably make you want to not respond. Yelp is a popular feedback and recommendations website where consumers can review and rate all manner of local businesses. This is a Yelp review that is closer to Greek tragedy, written about a Chicago area location of the White Castle hamburger restaurant chain, which is popular in the central United States. While driving to the airport near the end of our Midwestern journey, I heard what appeared to be hyperventilating coming from the back seat of our rental car. My 16-year-old son could not believe he was actually seeing a real live, bona fide White Castle, and he begged us to go in. Since we were pretty early for our flight, we decided to go ahead and let him have his Harold and Kumar go to White Castle moment. A movie which he asserts is the greatest stoner film ever. So this seems like a pretty positive review at this point, but it takes a decided turn for the worse. Remarkably, on a 5-star scale, this is a 2-star review. I desperately want to know what this person writes when he has a 1-star experience. In this case, the White Castle restaurant did not respond to the complaint, and perhaps you would have handled it the same way. Don't feed the trolls, right? But it should have responded, and so should you in any similar scenario.
So as authors, as podcasters, as content creators, whatever you're doing, there's going to be opportunities for your audience to leave reviews. And leave feedback and comments or talk about you when you're not even in the room. And you'll never know. So understanding how we can respond, when to respond, how to respond, instead of silence. Because in the silence, those that read reviews and those that interact with haters then don't see us come back with something. So there's so many great things in this book that will help you in your journey as far as how to deal with these people that leave reviews or share their thoughts about what you do and who you are. What do we do with this stuff? So this book is going to walk you through as you listen, how, where, and why people complain, how and when customers expect a response when they complain, the advocacy impact of answering or ignoring a customer, and the differences in complaint type and expectations around feedback. Supported by dozens of interviews with large and small companies, social networks, and even review websites, psychiatrists, and legal experts, Hug Your Haters gives listeners and readers a step-by-step process to magnify an impact of happy customer interactions and minimize the impact of haters and complainers. Customers expect more from businesses, from authors, from podcasters than ever before. And the importance of real-time customer service has never been greater. Hug Your Haters explains this new reality and shows us, as listeners and readers, how to embrace complaints and turn bad news into good. So this is a great book, a great idea for you as a gift idea to yourself or to someone else in your life who is a content creator, an author, a musician, a artist, whatever you do, a podcaster, hey, like me, how to deal with your audience in a meaningful way where your listeners and your community can see you shine, and how you deal with your haters. It's time for a big old-fashioned hug fest. Let's embrace our haters. Let's embrace the comments. And like I said back in that original episode over on the How to Podcast series, if someone has a problem with you, to some degree, at some level, are part of the problem. And again, like I talk about in the How to Podcast series episode, it could be just that you're physically in the area, in the presence of someone who's having a very bad day. They find your book, they find your podcast, they listen to your song, they see your painting, and they're like, they just unload on you because you're just in the proximity of a hate-filled person. And you've done nothing wrong. You're just there. And that's some of the stories I share in that episode on the How to Podcast series. I would love for you to go check it out and join the 50,000+ people who have checked it out. There's something there that people love. So I would love for you to check it out as well. And then also check out this book by Jay Baer. It's a great way to reframe the input that we get from those who consume our content. And as an author, I know you love your reviews. And make sure when you go on podcasts, make sure when you talk about your book and the release of your book that you tell and you ask for reviews. We do not have because we do not ask. And if you want reviews for your book, if you want people to see what other people are saying about your book, you need to ask. And I would love for you to review this podcast. I would love for you to review what I do and give me feedback, because then it helps me to be a better podcaster, to be a better content creator, and have the best author podcast, the best how to podcast, any of those shows that I do. It helps me to improve. So embrace, hug, love on your haters, and this book will help you. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you go and download a copy, sign up for Audible. You can get, if you get a subscription, you get one book every month that you can pick from, one credit. And I use this every month. It's my monthly gift to myself. So 12 months of the year, I get a gift by listening to great audiobooks like Jay Baer's Hug Your Haters. If you have a book that you would love to tell me about, livingthenextchapter.com is my website. There's a little speak pipe icon. Leave me a voice message. I would love to bring your voice into the podcast and tell people about the book that you're in love with. And if it's an audiobook, even better, because that's what we love doing here, is we love audio. So thank you for being part of the podcast. Looking for a great 2024. Lots of great stuff coming up. Lots of amazing guests on this podcast. And I thank you for making time to be here. Take care. And if you're celebrating the holidays this year, safety, love for you and your family as you gather together. And no matter where you are in this big world of ours, I appreciate you for listening. And I want to thank you for making time for this. It means so much to me as a podcaster. I really do appreciate you for making the choice to be here with me. You could be 100 other places, and I thank you for being here. Thank you for checking out Living the Next Chapter, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care.
Ready to take your story to the next level? It's time to get off the sidelines and share your story. Join us at Creative Con, where you'll learn the actionable steps from experts and doers to turn your dreams into reality. Whether you're an aspiring podcaster, a seasoned pro, new or published author, speaker, creative, visionary, or dreamer crafting your message, this is your moment to shine. Our panels, workshops, keynotes, and networking opportunities will help you overcome the roadblocks, effectively articulate your message, and share your message to the masses. Discover how to position yourself as an industry leader by leveraging podcasting, publishing, production, and promotions. For those seeking purpose beyond the corporate grind, we'll ignite your passions and guide you to a more fulfilling path. If you've ever thought about breaking free from the 9-to-5 routine and taking control of your destiny, we'll show you how. Authors, you'll learn to expand your horizons and broaden your reach. Creative Con is where you'll find confidence, support, and a clear roadmap to success. If you've ever doubted yourself, this is your chance to step out of your comfort zone and make your creative dreams a reality. Secure your Creative Con tickets now for our virtual December 2nd event and our 2-day live event February 17th to 18th at creativecon.com. That's creativecon.com, creative with an 8. The future is yours. Speak it, write it, live it.